If you're looking for durable bags or premium leather goods made here in Charleston, shop at J Stark, the notable shop on King Street in downtown Charleston. Today, I talk with the owners, Jess Nicoles and Erik Holmberg, for this edition of Quintin's Close-Ups. And if you haven't already, subscribe to my YouTube channel and like Quintin's Close-Ups on Facebook. Erik Holmberg and Jess Nicoles, welcome to the award-winning Quintin's Close-Ups.
Thanks for having us.
Oh, you're very welcome. I know there's Wi-Fi issues here, but I'll just go on. Obviously, you are the owner and co-owner of J Stark, which is a tremendous bag company on the Upper King Street in downtown Charleston. Before I begin, let me ask you this. What's new, what's now with J Stark?
Well, we've been working on our spring-summer collection for 2021. We have a couple new bags. We've got a really cute new crossbody and then a bucket bag. We've got some awesome new leather goods. So we've been kind of like really digging in this season and some fun colorways, some really cool new products that we've never had before. So we're pretty excited.
That is so great to hear. And what particular item from that spring collection really describes you all?
I think probably this new Hobson crossbody bag that we've designed and created for the spring. It just seems like a bag that people didn't know they wanted, but we sort of figured the way people travel these days during COVID and what they need on a day-to-day basis, we sort of saw that in our customers and created this bag for them. And it seems to be taking off really well.
Oh, that's amazing. Speaking of COVID, what has it been like to be the owners and co-owners of J Stark during this pandemic?
It's been really weird. It was a little terrifying, especially in the beginning, because you just like have no idea what's going to happen. But pretty quickly, our general fan base and people that know us kind of made it clear that they wanted us to stick around. So people like really came out of the woodwork and supported us super like more than normal in the very beginning stages. And so it kind of like helped us get through that first part of like last year. And then once we got to the holiday, it was kind of normal again. Or not normal, but it was better. So it's been like tenterhooks, but now right. it feels pretty good.
Yes, indeed. And Erik, where did you pick up from when the second part began of COVID?
Sorry, I didn't hear you.
Yes, sir. I'm sorry about the music here at the restaurant, but let me ask you this. She's mentioned obviously once the holiday began and everything started to begin normal again. What was it like to be at J Stark then? What was business like after that, after the holidays?
After the holidays, it seemed like travel really picked up considerably in Charleston. I think some people were getting vaccinated and other people were just tired of being cooped up. And it really seems like 2019 again in terms of the foot traffic that we've been seeing on King Street.
Yes, it's been busy down there very recently, and that's amazing. And I know I went on your website, and it basically talks about your story. And it says this, at its core, J Stark is a bag and luggage brand that you all make timeless and sturdy things that will be carried with you for a lifetime. What are those timely and sturdy things today?
Let's see. So I guess what you mean is like, well, what products?
Yes, ma'am.
So I would say I think the core things are like the big shoulder tote and like weekender bags, that sort of thing. I think the weekender bag is kind of the most expressive thing that we do because it ties everything together. It's that thing that goes with you everywhere, but could very easily just be an everyday bag too. And I think it's like kind of the pinnacle of what we're doing. So,
wow. That's amazing. I know that you all said this too, and we actually keep our design simple. We don't put a pocket where a pocket doesn't belong. The result is a product that is aesthetically minimalistic and highly functional. What are your most popular simple designs?
Probably our flagship Franklin tote. It's a bag that we started with actually probably 6 years ago. and we haven't changed its size at all. We've sort of adjusted the way we do the straps on certain ones, whether it's leather or whether it's fabric, but it seems to be a bag that people use for the most variety of use cases, whether it's a teacher that's taking her lesson plans, or it's someone taking their gardening tools, or even people use it as a weekend bag for those light packers. So it's kind of a bag that has a real range to it.
And I know that on the website goes on to say this: we started with a clear vision of creating beautiful American-made goods. What's that vision right now?
Right now, I think the new vision is to keep expanding and hopefully have stores in maybe a couple other cities and be able to hire more people. And I think our main goal right now is just to create more jobs. We definitely lost some once the pandemic hit, and we want to kind of get back to where we were. But then in addition to that, we'd like to be able to, get to a point where we're hiring more people to do, something with their hands and make money to do a thing that they love. So that's the big goal.
And what were the jobs prior to, obviously, COVID?
Well, we had a lot of sewing positions prior to COVID, and since we have our retail space as well, we had more positions open for people to be working kind of like the cash register, essentially. Once business slowed down and we cut our hours quite a bit, we didn't need as many people front and center. So now we're just kind of like trying to get back to that point.
Right.
And also more people to sew so we can make things.
Exactly right. And I know Erik touched on it briefly in the last answer, but where was business heading towards prior to COVID?
We were looking at opening a second location potentially. We're not sure exactly where it's going to be, but we're sort of been visiting within like a 5 or 6 hour radius and seeing what retail's like in different areas. And it would be a totally different mix than here. We have a really large percentage of our customer base is tourists. So we need to think about that when we sort of create another retail shop. But we think that we can create something unique and tie it into the fabric of another city, because we do show our manufacturing right on site, and people can see like exactly what goes into the process and how it's made. They can see the fabric being cut and where our designs come from.
Right.
And I think that helps people understand sort of the price point that our bags arrive at.
Yeah.
And what is that price point?
Well, it starts at $50 and goes up to $350. Wow. So we like run the gamut. You can get something small and modestly priced, or you can get something like fancy with a lot. We have a $350 leather crossbody bag it's probably the height of what we're doing in terms of finesse and technique.
Right.
So, there's something for everybody.
Now, you talked about earlier about the fabric, and you talked about traveling, you talked about tourists, you talked about the second location. What fabric would be ideal as far as J Stark in another city? What city would be ideal for that?
Oh, well, we've been working with Cordura lately, which is kind of it's more of a water repellent recyclable fabric.
Right.
And I think that would be really good in like a bigger city with more, dreary weather. Like I could see it working really well. And I'm from Washington State, so I always think about having a shop in Seattle, and I'm thinking about all the cool J Stark bags in Cordura if we were in Seattle. That'd be fun.
Yeah, Asheville maybe, who knows?
Oh yeah, Asheville would be great too.
Yes, indeed. And on the website, you also said this too, one where we envision ourselves helping to create new manufacturing jobs for local folks with a kindred itch to create something with their hands. Besides, obviously, the CrossFit bag, what's something else that you're creating on your hands right now?
Well, I think the biggest thing that we're doing, as in terms of creating things with hands, is all the leather goods, because those are all hand stitched. We don't use any machines for those. Wow. So it's very back to basics, and it's really cool just to be able to do that and create this really beautiful, perfect product that is like almost invincible. I think that's probably the coolest like work with your hands thing that we're doing.
And I know, obviously, during the beginning of the pandemic, everybody was basically at home under quarantine. And I know, obviously, you have your great baby there. But what is something else that you all did that you went back to the basics for in order to complete as far as a project, just to keep yourselves busy?
Yeah, I think we revisited a lot of our patterns of our bags and said, all right, how can we improve upon this? And if we do find ourselves with extra time, we really wanted to improve all our existing designs. We wanted to see new fabrics that we can incorporate. So we used every bit of time, extra time that we had to just level up the craft and level up the materials that we're using. And that really allowed us to come out with new products and also sort of dial in really specific colorways that we wanted to introduce and tell the story about the new products with.
And what colorways did you use to tell the story about your new products?
The latest ones we're doing are Dreamsicle, which is an orange and green color that mix like a creamsicle popsicle box, a vintage one. And then the other one is Fairway, which has certain colors that you might see at a golf course, like a bright orange, like you might see in a golf tee, and then there's a green and a navy blue, like you might see in the sky, or maybe the grass at the golf course.
Oh, that's so amazing. That really is amazing. And I know earlier you all talked about, obviously, basically coming here to help create jobs, American-made good jobs, and people to be able to do those jobs. How many manufacturing jobs have you created thus far at J. Stark?
We've had as many as 8 manufacturing jobs at our height. Wow. Right now, we're currently sitting at about 6, and like heading back towards that point. So, I mean, I think potentially we have the space in our shop to get that up in the neighborhood of like 10 or 12, and then duplicate that if we were to go anywhere else or open anything else. So.
And you said that it's not simply creating the jobs, but also the light-filled space where the jobs are done. Let me ask you this. How cozy is that light-filled space?
I think it's pretty great considering, we wanted to redefine what it meant to manufacture. And normally you'll see in the past photos, people sort of in very dark, dingy areas when they're doing manufacturing jobs, whether it's sewing or whether it's putting something else together, wooden or metal. And so our sewing machines are right up in the front window, so everyone gets to sort of get that bright light, but also they get to see when a customer comes in and maybe purchases a bag that they just finished. And so they get that fulfillment of seeing, this thing I just made went on the floor and it's immediately helping somebody. And I think that's a pretty amazing thing that people get to experience when they work for us.
Oh, absolutely. And you also said this too, expanding deeper into our little brick building on Cumming Street and now on King Street, obviously. We've created our own factory where our goods are made and sold right on site. How many goods have you actually sold on that particular site?
Oh, man. That's a really good question. It's up there. I mean...
Yeah, that's a great question. I will say that during the holidays, our wine tote alone, we've sold in like the 500 or 600 item just for that bag alone during the holiday.
Just
it's
from
such a huge gift.
Thanksgiving to Christmas.
Really?
Yeah.
That's amazing.
That's definitely the period of time where we do the most sales. But yeah, we've made thousands of bags, which is wild to think about.
Right.
In a little space with not that many people.
Right. And now I got to focus on my new favorite baby here, because I was thinking this. What type of bag are you making for your child?
Well, we actually just made a diaper bag so that we could have, him, and it's like a cute little backpack and kind of fits everything, but still looks not like a diaper bag, which was very important to us.
Yeah, so you could use it even when the baby grows up. You'll find a use for it, and it'll aesthetically it'll be a bag that you'd still want to continue using.
Yeah.
That brings me to my next question. will you ever create a section, for baby and children, or am I missing something?
Yeah, I actually just prototyped a toddler backpack, which was really fun. A friend of ours who's been supporting us since the very beginning, she just kind of reached out and was like, I really want to buy a backpack for my kid, but from you guys, could you knock something out for me? So I made her something. It's super cute, like lots of neon and little like straps and clips and things. And it was kind of the first dip into it, and I think it'll be something that we tinker with more. Yeah, he's loving it.
Now that you're on King Street, what will be J Stark for the next 5, 10, 15 years?
I don't know. Hopefully it just, hopefully it's a cool thing that people who come to town start to remember as this awesome local spot, like a little independent shop that they found on Street that was, kind of different than everything else that was going on. And hopefully it also can be the impetus for like more small, like more independent businesses that are based in Charleston can kind of like see that you can make it work if you're down there, like we're in a cool little spot where Grit and Grace is right across the street from us. And then, like Worthwhile is a few blocks up there, but there's a ton of local based shops on King Street. So like if we can just keep building that up and people can see that you can make it work, it might be tough in the beginning, but you can make it work and things can get really awesome if you're on King Street. It'd be cool to see a resurgence, I think.
And Erik, let me ask you this as well as Jess, but let me ask you this. What does J Stark mean to you all?
Oh, it's been just an incredible vehicle for us to work hard, to work together, and to explore our creative sides and get paid for it, which is, I think, what everyone kind of dreams of. Of course, it's hard work. Once you put in the hard work, it can start to sort of level off, and then you get to explore your creative side even more and not have to rely so much on the business aspects of things like you do in the beginning. In the beginning, you're just clawing, just trying to make a name for yourself and sell your product. But as soon as, you make a good product and people appreciate it and will keep buying it, then you get a chance to refocus your effort on the creativity in the beginning as well.
Now that you've gotten the business aspect done, what else do you want to refocus when it comes to the creative side?
I think new products always, improving our products, and I think sustainable fabrics are going to be big for us in the next 5 years. As more people produce them, we want to start incorporating them. We already have a program where we take our scraps and give them to schools or to other crafts people in the area so that they don't go to a landfill and they get used up. So I think just incorporating more eco fabrics and materials will be a big thing for us.
Yeah.
Oh, that is so amazing. Well, Erik Holmberg and Jess Nicoles, thank you so much for your time. And again, welcome to the award-winning Quintin's Close-Ups.
Thanks you so much, Quintin. We had a great time.
Have an amazing day.
Likewise. Thank you so much.